Hi, this is Tom, K-Bar user. Well, we've done a lot in these series of Prep for the Preps. I was seriously thinking about wrapping it up, but you know what? I think as I come across information, instead of wrapping it up, I'm just going to add to them. There's a lot of stuff out there that there's too much stuff out there to cover in 10 or 12 videos. So, what I'd like to talk to you tonight about is I've noticed on a couple of channels, there's people prepping, take a 5-gallon buckets, buying these Mylar bags on eBay or wherever, putting them inside the bucket, sealing them up, so on and so forth. There's one video on there where a lady uses a hand vac to vacuum seal the Mylar bag, and then you use an iron to seal it. Worked really good. I was really surprised. So then I went looking for Mylar bags. Now, if you're spending your money on preps, chances are you're low on money, or you might not have a lot of money to prep with. So this is going to be a Prep for the Prep cheap edition. Okay, so food grade buckets. If you're going to put your food inside of a Mylar bag, you don't need a food grade bucket. The Mylar bag is going to be your protection between that and food grade. Just make sure you wash and sanitize the bucket first. Now, I get my buckets from a local bakery. I buy them, they give them away. If you can't find buckets at your local store bakery that somebody will give you, mine comes from a donut shop. They sell them there for X amount, and I think it's 2, 5, and 6. 6 are the 10-gallon buckets. 5 are the 7-gallon, $2. There's a 3-gallon bucket, and then they have another like 2-quart size. I got a couple of them too for odds and ends. So, alright. So I can buy them there, or like I said, sometimes you can get them the icing buckets. You can get them at the your local store bakery or whatever. So now let's say you got 10 buckets. And, well, now I got to buy Mylar bags to put them in. Only if you want to fill these buckets up with stuff. I'm going to tell you why. A little something I ran into. Potato chips. Mostly comes in Mylar bags. Yes, they have a print on the front, which is also a piece of Mylar that's sealed to a backing piece of Mylar. So it's a Mylar bag. Now, just thinking one day, just looks like my space blanket. So I took 2 of them out and I compared them. They're the same material. Okay, space blankets work for this reason. Alright, I go out on the porch, put 2 on my feet, put my boots on. Oh, I got Mylar bags on my feet. Nice and toasty. So, if you're looking to prep on the cheap, you got all your buckets together and whatnot, you need the Mylar bags, clean out a potato chip bag. They hold some good sized food. You could probably put enough rice in a potato chip bag. You'd probably fit 2-3 pounds of rice in there. Now, what this woman did is she had a hand vac. She sucked everything out with the hand vac, and she ironed the seal closed. She ironed like 3/4 of the bag closed, and left a little opening here, sucked the air out, and then took the iron as the thing was running and ran over the bag and sealed it with the iron. So there you go. Now you got a potato chip bag with 3 pounds of rice. Poof. Now, as far as Mylar bags, think about this. They're Mylar bags. Okay. Mylar blankets you can get, I just bought 10 of them off eBay for $8.99. The whole blanket. Now you can seal these up with an iron. All it takes is a little bit of heat to seal these things up with. So you take these bags, you cut them to size, if you want a 10 by 10 bag. Cut them to size, seal them up with an iron. You can make a lot of bags out of one Mylar bag. A blanket, I should say. Or if you have like a 30-gallon food grade container, like I was talking about in my one video, take the whole blanket, put it down inside, tie the top shut. Seal the top shut with an iron. Whatever. There's a lot of different ways of getting around this. Then not only do you have to go with, say, food grade buckets, there's a lot of food grade things out there you can get away with. Dollar store. Perfect example. Dollar stores sell these little, I think they're half-gallon containers, or maybe 8 inches deep and 12 inches long by maybe 6 wide. They come with a little snap-on lid. Now, put the stuff in there, push down on the lid so that it doesn't unsnap, but just lets enough air out of it. Make sure it's good and tight. Now you take a hot glue gun. Run a bead of hot glue all the way around there. It's airtight. What air is in there is in there. Stuff for like rice or instant mashed potatoes, stuff like that. It's more or less for spillage and to make sure that creepy crawlies don't get in there. That stuff will last forever. If you have any local, like we have a couple of stores here that's discount grocery stores. The one place in particular, well, I don't even know where they're at, but this is something I picked up. These are, I gotta cover addresses. These are alcohol prep pads. Now, a medical supply obviously, but in the meantime they make good fire starters. They're, if you need alcohol and you need more alcohol that's in the pad, you can always take a couple of them and squeeze them out. You got running alcohol. I got them 5 for $1. Latex gloves. Another deal I got there. 2 boxes were $3. So if you're going to prep on a cheap, use your imagination as far as storage containers. Like I said with the Mylar bags, you don't have to buy Mylar bags. I know they're cheap, but if you don't have a budget, so to say, and you're doing this on a cheap, use potato chip bags. You just have to rinse them out. And then while you're doing all this prepping of food and everything else, a lot of people prep medical supplies and everything. Remember 2 things: salt, sugar. I'm nuts. No, I'm not. Salt is an antiseptic. Yeah, it might burn like the dickens, but it's an antiseptic. You also need it to live. Make sure it's the iodized type. Okay? A lot of people forget that. I see people prepping all kind of foodstuffs, but no salts. Sugar. Why sugar? Sugar you can live on. It's cheap. You get 5 pounds for, I think it's $1.39 or something like that. You can live on sugar. It gives you a immediate boost of calories, gives you a immediate boost of carbs, gives you energy. Sugar can also be poured on a wound like Quick Clot. People don't know that. It will congeal, it will coagulate. It's not as good as Quick Clot, and don't ever think it's a good substitute. But in an emergency, sugar can be used. There's also a property in sugar, especially raw sugar if you can find it, that is also an antiseptic and a disinfectant. So don't forget them two things. But you can go through all of the freezer bags, stuff like that. How many freezer bags can you get for, $2.39? If you can get a discount place, sometimes I've picked up freezer bags. They're not the best brand or generic ones, but I've picked up freezer bags for 50 cents a bag. Gallon ones. Can you imagine all the food you could put in there? Pull the seal tight. Now, when you do these though, fold the top over what's not filled and push down as hard as you can. Just leave a little bit of the Ziploc open. Push down as hard as you can with your hand to get as much air out as you can, and then seal the zip back up. It'll give you not a vacuum seal, but it'll get as much air out of there as you can. Air is what's going to kill you. Moisture and air is what spoils most foods. So, this K-Bar user, Tom. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. And yeah, we'll just randomly keep these going. So you all have a good night now.